I feel like if there's one tournament that just feels appropriate to play that intro for, it's definitely DreamHack. They already do so much more weird stuff on their own, but welcome back. It is DreamHack. It's DreamHack Winter 2014. It's the finals of the year. Spawning here on the leftmost side of the map, it's going to be the Red Zerg player from Samsung Galaxy, Solar.
And in the bottom right, it's Oz, the yellow Protoss. It's Mind Sanity Stardust.
So Stardust did sneak out this probe here pretty darn quick. Now, he hasn't quite picked whether it was going to be a Forge or not, but realizing where his opponent spawned, I imagine that'll be the case. He's going to hover around and wait to see if it's a pull first, kind of almost baiting his opponent into it. It's Stardust after all. You can't... It sounds like a lot of analysis for like one probe, but I mean, this is kind of a big deal.
Yeah, I certainly think so. You know, there's a few maps, maybe like, you know, a year ago or so, where an Overlord would be already be on that base saying like, oh, you're getting a Nexus, a Forge isn't down. But unfortunately, he had to choose. The Overlord was not going to see, and he's lucky enough to scout the actual right position first anyways, that a Forge is down. Now Stardust is going to throw on a Nexus. Solar is going to see that, and he will not have to worry about the probe any longer.
So, is a Nexus first an unfortunate opener?
That was pretty good. Yeah. Yeah.
5 out of 10, whatever. No big deal. Okay, well, the Forge does follow this up, though. I mean, you're going to want cannons at some point. I joked a little bit earlier about the cannon defenses in that first game today, but honestly, with the layout of Catalina, like, this is a map that really does encourage mutas, or Roaches and Hydras and Vipers. I mean, there's a lot of different ways you can play it, but with the area for air that there is, we do see mutas more often than not. So those cannons may just be more important than ever, and Stardust has already shown he's willing to put them down. Actually, what would be really cool to see is a Nidus Worm, but we're not casting Life, we're casting Solar.
Hey, Solar does Nidus Worms.
He does, but I mean, it's just, I've still got that stigma from that tournament where like Life was just doing it every single game on Catalina. Back at the big one, boys.
It's 4 months ago now. Or something like that.
Yeah, actually, geez. Yeah, July. Yowza.
Yowza.
Yo, I've had a lot of fun with a lot of the tournaments we've been able to put on this year, and I think it's really cool. Support from our fans and anyone who's ever basically given us money has really allowed us to do a lot of cool things. Very unique, and the big one was our first, I think, big step into the world. It's pretty cool.
Yes, it was. Oh, nothing else is really going on.
No, this is a surprisingly slow opener. I mean, when again, like you have Stardust in the game, you kind of expect something a little less than passive, but you know, with the opener that he chose, the Cyber Core's still not done, so it doesn't even have a Mothership Core to fly around and harass with, something that, of course, you would love to be able to do.
Okay, I'm Tasteless Euratosis, okay? So, like, you remember that game we played back in, like, the
this
SNES
isn't
days?
Hearthstone. I loaded up the wrong game. No, I actually really like Euratosis, guys. It's a bad joke. I'm sorry. Continue.
I was making a kind of bad joke as well. I was going to ask you what your favorite SNES game was.
No, this is actually... Okay, so let's talk about what's going to be coming, I guess, probably makes a little more sense. With the +1 weapon upgrades on the way, we did see Stardust attempt to go for +2 Blink Stalkers last game. That got really heavily delayed when he took out that Forge. I mean, it might not have seemed like that big of a snipe. It's a typical tech snipe. Ooh, wow, cool. But when your army heavily relies on this +2 upgrades and Blink, and you've got neither, I mean, that's just the worst possible place to be in. So for Stardust's sake, if he is going to go for Blink Stalkers, this map is pretty well suited for it. It's just in general a good strategy, but it's going to rely on him not losing those upgrades this time. So at the very least, by taking this third, I mean, this kind of shifts the focus over here. You're not going to Roaches necessarily slamming into that Forge like we did last time, but a Roach Warden does begin. And for Solar's sake, as far as looking forward to this game, it took a little bit longer to get all his gas set up the way he wanted it to. He was, of course, trying to get that third base up here pretty quick. Obviously, the goal, if you can get away with it, get to 70 drones, ASAP, 3 bases, and then do whatever you want from there. But I don't know. What do you think? Is he going to go with Roaches?
Yes. I think he's going to stop at whatever drone it is now, 51, and he's going to do exactly what he did last time.
51.
Even without even without speed, he might still just dedicate entirely to roaches. It did win him the game last time in a fashion that wasn't just like so clutch. It actually looked kind of easy. So definitely do it again. The timing seems a little bit off this time, though. I think speed was done last game, where, you know, combination maybe later speed and also just the fact that the base is a lot shorter distance, it looks like. Speed might not be done when the roaches are ready to attack. Or it might be perfect.
It might just be amazing. That's a hell of a lot of gateways actually coming down to Stardust, because this wasn't just the extra 2 over here at the third. He threw down 4 more in the main that are going to get denied as scouts. So Solar not going to have an accurate read on the gateway count being 7. Now, 7 gates for 2 bases, we just start trying to beat him with the all-in, right? But 3 bases is a little more sustainable, and of course this helps with the wall. The overcharge does go down, but the Lings run right past this wall. I mean, there's a cannon here going to help a little bit, but the Roach is taken out pretty darn quick. He's going to focus the Nexus. He's going to lose some roaches for this, but he's going to trade up for the sentries too. Not too bad here out of Solar if he can get enough out of this fight alive. But he does kill the base. Nicely done.
Yeah. Gets a sentry on the back end as well, but throws some good force field to make sure that not more went down.
A lot of Lings live. He might just, get some more sentries. You got to be careful with this.
It's 2 now. Not bad.
You know, it's
not really a big retreat plan for the roaches. You do not have speed.
I kind of feel like it's almost better not to retreat, but kill as many sentries as you can before falling back. And that's where I think a lot of Stardust fell apart last game. He didn't have any sentries to fight the mid game with.
Yeah.
This time, okay, he's lost, what's that, 3 so far, 4? Not that big of a deal, but still, not fun at all. The Stalkers can't clean this up. Mothership 4 will eventually, I suppose, but he can't really bring those sentries in. If he does, he loses them.
What's also pretty sick is that Solar, you know, jumped up a little bit behind this. He can jump maybe a little bit more. He's getting a 4, he's getting upgrades, but any attack doesn't necessarily have to come from this choke right here. There's always a danger that this is, you know, much more force fieldable. That's a word. Than say like the little like in, yeah, it's a good word. In between the natural and the third. So that's always gonna be so dangerous with the follow-up attack. But Stardust is actually the one looking to apply pressure, not even bothering putting down that third again. Just like, well, I have 7 gateways, 8 gateways. Let me just do a 2-base 8 gate. All in, right? That's how it makes sense.
Yeah, he does have a lot of sentries to make this work. I mean, this is where a lot of gateway-related attacks pivot around these sentries in the early game. That's why one of the coolest things I think I'm looking forward to with Legacy the Void coming out. The Stasis Trap is kind of like a late-game force field mechanic, but yeah, once these get wiped off, you know, you really don't have a late-game follow-up to it. So if Solar can break the sentries, Solar will be so good here for the defense, but that's a really big if, because there's a lot of sentries that he's going to have to break. 13! When do you ever see this many sentries?
He's going to have Burrow, and there's no Observer again. There's not even a Robo, it looks like. Well, force fields don't seem too useful when they're right in front of your face.
A lot of Guardian Shields as well. I'm surprised he's fighting so close to the front lines for this, but a nice burrow out of Solar is going to save his time. This doesn't stop the attack, but it cancels out losing like 7 or 12 roaches because you just sit through those force fields, bide your time, back up. Tunneling Claws is going to come out. He's going to be able to burrow underneath this army and right on top of those sentries.
It almost does end the attack. Like, obviously Stardust not going to like GG, be like, oh yeah, burrow, GG. But he doesn't have Blink. He, you know, upgrades are 1-1, not even like +2 in like a usual Blink Stalker attack. And he has to wait a really long time for the Robo, long enough for Solar to get the Burrow movement, which is a much bigger deal. Like, Burrow saves his units from getting attacked, but even with an Observer, if there's Burrow movement, it doesn't matter. You're still going to be on top of the army, and that's what matters.
Yeah. I guess because this ramp is what really makes this such a pain to deal with. He's actually going to walk around and try and set this up. Whether it's Tunneling Claws or not, the thing is, like, attacking from 2 different angles is still going to be your best friend when it comes to engaging any sort of army, whether it's Protoss, Terra, Reserve. But I think one of the things I look at here for the Tunneling Claws is he might, if he takes down one of the pylons, like he opens a pathway into the natural base. This isn't a big section of the army, and Stardust is pretty heavily supply blocked. Like, I didn't even realize how drastically different the supply was right now, but this is getting way out of hand.
This isn't the best situation. He will be able to get out. It's also a good thing about having the Roach Burrow.
Yeah. I kind of fear, like, that's one of the things I'm worried about with the Ravager with Legacy of the Void. We're going to see less cool tactics like Roach Burrow with the Ravager breaking force fields and things.
Can they They can burrow, but they can't burrow movement, right?
No, but what I'm saying is like you're not going to need burrow movement for roaches if you
No.
got Ravagers.
Just checking.
But anyways, big surround, and of course they dive through the force fields on top of the sentries through this. This is a little bit of a messy engagement as Solar, though. He's not focusing the sentries, just kind of A-moving what he can here, but as more force fields go down, the roaches keep encroaching forward more and more, and looks like Solar is starting to be, like his army's dwindling down pretty quickly, but he's still got a massive supply. Look at the reinforcement, 38 lanes, 19 roaches, no big deal. He's killed a lot of the sentries, and the ones that are, the ones that are remaining don't really have a lot of energy. Third base was never retaken either, let's not forget that. I mean, this was a big all-in.
Yeah. Immortals are coming out now. He's just gonna go with the all-in. No chance of a third. Third put down 4 minutes ago. Maybe there is. Oh, he just put on a third. Oh boy, I don't know, man.
I don't know. Okay, the Observer. By the way, I'm not sure if that was with the army ahead of time or if it just came out. I was really looking.
It was
that
ahead of time.
Okay.
Yeah, he was attacking the bird this entire time. This is the position I was talking about, by the way. This is absolutely terrible. This is why a lot of pros do not like this map.
He unburrows right in the middle of the army, right in the heart of things. Doesn't quite focus on the Immortal. He is looking for the sentry kills, and he does get them, so no more force fields to worry about. But good game's going to be called, and Solar will take the series. He'll win 2-1. Woo-woo. And, of course,